Is there a recent moment with one of your kiddos or a moment in your classroom that you just felt energized and it reminded you of just the positive impact you currently have on your students every day?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's moments pretty rare, especially in my class, but I feel like there's always moments where you can see the light bulb go off in the student, right? You can see, I know this, like I can do this. And I kind of think it's those moments, whether it's letter formation or whether it's adding, subtracting with manipulative, whatever it is, once that they realize that they can do it independently and they don't need the help of the teacher, those moments, that's what's all worth it. That's what we're here for, is the kind of light bulb moments when you see the kids celebrating their successes, when you see them celebrating other kids' successes. I mean, it's just the best.
Welcome, Beach Park District 3, to Beyond the Bell, the podcast where we connect with the incredible people in our district and share the stories that make our culture unique. I'm super excited today to introduce you to our guest on Beyond the Bell as he began his teaching career in my alma mater in 2021 at Oak Crest Elementary in a similar role as myself as a self-contained special education teacher. What's even more exciting to me about this opportunity is that I don't personally know our guest, which provides me with the ability to sit in the same seat as you, our listener, and get to know someone we don't know, which is the entire concept of the podcast, just connecting with the people we don't know in our district. But I get to ask all the questions. So without further ado, I would like to introduce all of you to Mr. Matt Russell. What's up, Matt?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Thank you so much for taking this opportunity with me. I know we're rolling the dice and you were courageous and I'm so grateful. The audience is going to be grateful to get to know you a little bit. And I know Oak Crest Elementary is definitely going to be celebrating. So it's great to have you as a guest on our show. And I just want to thank you for your willingness to be here with us. And to get started, if you wouldn't mind, can you just take a moment to introduce who you are to our audience? Tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and what your current position is.
Absolutely. So again, I'm Russell. This is my 5th year teaching at Oak Crest Elementary. All 5 years have been in the CABS program. So special ed. I've done a range of first grade, second grade. It's my first year with a little bit of third grade involved. So kind of doing a little bit of different grade levels. Originally, I'm from Gurnee, so I'm kind of from the area. I currently live in Antioch. Went to Illinois State University. I know there's a lot of Illinois State alums here at Oak Crest and also at Beach Park. So go Redbirds as always. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been here for 5 years. I've loved it. Every day is different. Every day is a different challenge. It just kind of keeps me coming back.
I got to be honest. It seems like the majority of the people that are willing to be guests on Beyond the Bell are ISU graduates.
I don't think that's a coincidence either.
Okay. I was going to add, yeah, I don't think it is. All right. I mean, ISU is just producing great educators, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Year after year.
That's awesome. Any additional roles outside of what you're currently doing with the district as your teaching role?
Yeah, I'm actually currently enrolled, getting my master's degree through Concordia University, Chicago. I'm undergoing the principal preparation program and administration leadership. So I'm about halfway done with that. So a year done. So at the end of next school year, I'll be fully complete with my master's. So yeah, super excited about that. That's been going well. Yeah.
That's a journey. I've done that. The more I get to know you, the more your pathway is like really resonating with what my pathway has been. Obviously, I've done the same thing. And since we're talking about it, do you see yourself eventually in a leadership role, either special education director or assistant principal to principal?
Yeah, absolutely. I think kind of whatever doors may open or present themselves when that time comes, I'd definitely be interested in it. I don't think I'm necessarily done in the classroom when I get my degree. I don't think I'll have kind of satisfied that itch per se. I think there's still more I want to do in the classroom before kind of changing lanes and moving up like that. But it's something I definitely have a great interest in and look forward to doing someday.
That's awesome. My thought was always, and I've mentioned it before, and I'll just mention it since we're in conversation, I always wanted to be prepared for opportunities that arose. I never wanted to be in a situation where I had a desire to be in a position or make a transfer or grow within the district and have not prepared myself through my education to be able to walk through that door if the opportunity presented itself or decide that's not for me right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
No, absolutely. Like there's that cliche saying, fail to prepare to fail. I've kind of had that mindset. I always want to be prepared for anything that might kind of come my way, any unique, cool, interesting opportunity that kind of presents itself. I want to make sure that I'm ready and adequately prepared for that. So
you're doing it. Since we're on the topic, you're in school there are other listeners that are thinking about going to school, thinking about furthering their education, thinking about what the next step is going to be. Would you like to provide any advice to anyone currently either thinking about being enrolled into a master's program or furthering their career?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're thinking about doing it, I think easier said than done, but I think take the leap and go for it. If you're thinking about it, there's a reason why you're thinking about it, that you think it would better yourself academically, right? Maybe increase your instructional strategy, or you could have better relationships with the kids or something like that. I think there's always a reason if you're already thinking about it to go and do it. It's not as intimidating or as scary when they say it is. You can kind of find a program, find a place that works with your needs. If you want to go at a different pace, there's definitely plenty of programs out there that you can find to do. But my overall advice would just kind of be take a leap of faith and just do it.
It's good advice. It's great advice. And it is easier said than done. But I love to
Absolutely.
hear that come from you because you're in it as well as I am. I'm in a doctorate program as well, and there's going to be sacrifice like
Absolutely.
anything else, but it is absolutely worth it. And I think more importantly, you can do it. You can
Absolutely.
do it. My biggest
Yeah.
hurdle
Yeah.
has always been me.
I completely agree. My biggest hurdle was starting. I had been talking about starting grad school for over a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. And just kind of, the deadline's coming to enroll. I'm going to hold off. I don't think I'm ready quite yet. I don't think I'm ready quite yet. But I was ready the entire time. I just didn't give myself that grace. And kind of once I put the pen to the fire, I started, and it's been really good ever since. So I've been loving it.
Thank you for that. Any committees that you serve on at the building level or the district level? No? Okay. All right. Have you always been in your current position? So it's always sounds like it's always been CABS. And will you tell people what a CABS classroom is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Communication and
Cabs.
behaviors?
Yep, communication and behavior supports. So it's a special education classroom and kind of a smaller class. I have two TAs in my classroom, full instructional. So we have a modified curriculum that we use to meet the students where they're at. And we're not only focusing on academic achievement, but also functional growth, social emotional growth, and things like that, helping them become well-rounded students instead of kind of just targeting academic things like that.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Our kids, they need it. They need the support. And I think Beach Park and especially Oak Crest is what a great place to be doing that at.
It's the best place to be. I wouldn't pick there's no other place I would rather be than here doing what I do. It's just the best.
I love it. When did you first realize that teaching was going to be your calling?
I was in college when I first realized. So when I first started college, I didn't go to Illinois State. I went to a small school in Wisconsin, and I was actually a finance and sales double major. And I quickly realized that that was not for me. My mom was a teacher. Both of her sisters are teachers. My grandma was a teacher. And I have 3 or 4 cousins on that side of the family who are all teachers. So teaching's kind of in our blood. It's always been something that my parents have said, hey, you should think about being a teacher. You have really, your skills that you have translate really well to being a teacher. And so it's kind of always in the back of my mind. But then kind of when I realized that business and that kind of life, quickly made the jump to education and immediately felt this is what I need to be doing for my life. This is my calling. This is where I'm comfortable. This is where I can succeed and make a difference.
It's great. And it really, the parallels are just ironic. I don't know if you know this about me, but I went to school for business and finance. I have an undergrad with finance and accounting and
Uh-huh.
business management. And then I went on to get my MBA. So I have an MBA, and it wasn't until life threw curveball and I landed in education inadvertently and just loved it. Uh, so I think just as a follow-up to that, I think about, I think about that journey for me, and I really do feel like I'm in the best place I could have been. And sometimes the planets, when they don't align, they end up aligning anyway. It's just cool that there's another connection between you and I getting into special education teachers at Oak Crest Elementary in a self-contained classroom. It's just really neat. If
There's
you
a lot of
had to
cool
boil down
parallels.
what you love most about working in education, what would it be?
It would be the people I work with, the staff that I work with. I mean, I still remember who interviewed me, what teachers here interviewed me, and the relationships that I still have with them. I think of the times where we can collaborate and work is for the kids to do. It's a really strong community that everyone's working for one another. And I feel like we do a really good job at keeping the main idea in mind. And we're here for the kids. We're here to support the kids, to provide the best education we can for the kids and a safe place for the kids to be. And I feel like everyone buys in and does a really good job at collaborating to ensure that for all the kids here.
Yeah. Special education is a unique discipline as a certified teacher, and all positions in teaching have their celebrations and they have their difficulties, right? How
Absolutely.
has your time at Oak Crest helped you transition from a new teacher in 2021 to what is probably you're feeling like more of an established teacher now today?
Absolutely. I think every year, I think I've come back and I've told people that I feel more comfortable. I feel more confident. I think the biggest jump for me was the beginning of this year. I is where I'm more comfortable with the curriculum and the day-to-day things. And if something doesn't go right, kind of what am I going to do here? Like over time, I've really been able to sharpen all the tools in my teacher toolbox. And I've been able to provide unique instructional opportunity for the kids that I've had, as well as collaborate with some really cool, interesting teachers here to provide those opportunities for the kids.
Yeah. If someone were to walk into your classroom today, what is the vibe or the one thing we'd see that's unique to Mr. Russell's classroom?
I think you'd see that the kids would be kind of all over the place, right? Kids are not necessarily, we're not always sitting in chairs. We're laying on the carpet. We're sitting on tables. We're making the environment comfortable for the kids. So if they're more comfortable walking around, standing, doing the work, we're going to stand around, kind of walk with them, and provide those opportunities for them, work with them that way.
Yeah, that could be seen as a bit chaotic. An administrator walks in the room
Absolutely.
and or another teacher walks in and they see chaos, but from your lens, it's functional accommodation.
Absolutely. Yep. And the kids are comfortable with it. They know what they need. They can go self-advocate for themselves. If they need to go to a certain part of the room, they know that they have that ability to do that independently while they're still doing that work. So I also feel like there's a good relationship between not only myself and the kids I have and the students. Kind of we all have a good understanding, respect, and rapport for one another.
That's awesome. Is there a recent moment with one of your kiddos or a moment in your classroom that you just felt energized and it reminded you of just the positive impact you currently have on your students every day? Would
Yeah,
you share it?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's moments pretty especially in my class. But I feel like there's always moments where you can see the light bulb go off in the student, right? You can see I know this, like I can do this. And I think it's those moments, like whether it's letter formation or whether it's adding and subtracting with manipulative, whatever it is. Once they realize that they can do it independently and they don't need the help of the teacher, those moments, I mean, that's what's it's all worth it. That's what we're here for, is the light bulb moments when you see the kids celebrating their successes, when you see them celebrating other kids' successes. I mean, it's just the best.
Yeah. The inspiration. Is there a specific student who taught you more than you taught them in one of your school years or currently doing that?
Absolutely. There was a couple my second year. They taught me a lot. They taught me a lot. Patience, problem solving, many different things that I feel that I almost learned more from them than they learned from me that year. Obviously, we made sure that go over. I mean, they got all the stuff they needed, of course, but I feel that I grew so much as an educator, as a person, as a teammate here. I just feel like that was a really good year for me developmentally, and it was a year that I would was definitely challenging, but one that I would never go back and change. I would take that 10 times out of 10 because it made me the teacher that I am today.
What's cool about that, as you're saying it, is like it reminds me of being in school and getting the theory, but the lessons you learn in application in the classroom are the ones that can't be taught being a student going to school for education. It can only be taught with the experiences that you have with the kids that you work with, right?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
real world, that kind of you get thrown in the fire. I mean, there's only so much they can teach you at school. They can't teach you when kind of go haywire in the classroom. How are you gonna react? How are you gonna manage? Yeah, definitely learned a lot kind of just through trial and error and experience.
How do you define a successful day in your classroom then?
If there's laughter and if there's kids celebrating one another, kids are always giving each other high fives in my classroom when one student gets something right, the other one's going to go cheer them on, call them by name, give a high five. So yeah, I think celebration and laughter, those are the two biggest things because at the end of the day, school's supposed to be a fun place, a fun, safe place for kids to go. I want to make sure that I'm fostering that environment for all the kids in my classroom.
I want to be in your class.
You're welcome. Anytime. from the
All right. I'm holding you to that. And then
good.
I'm going to learn something that day. I know it for sure. I do want to come to your classroom. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Do you have like a specific belief or philosophy that guides your approach to the work that you do every day in your classroom with such a diverse population of students?
I think the biggest for me is just to keep reminding myself why am I here? What are we here for? It's the kids. If I have to have 6 different things ready to go for the same lesson, I think like it may be tedious in the moment, but then I go back and it's well, what am I doing this for? I need to make sure all the kids are successful and they can access the curriculum, they can make growth, they can make gains. So it's really kids at the forefront of the mind, and making sure that I'm doing everything I can to help them be successful.
Beautiful. Great answer. Authentic and makes perfect sense. And I think that's the objective of every educator. Anyone that's listening right now in education, like it's really good advice. And it's a great philosophy to lean back on. Beach Park prides itself on its supportive culture. And you're a relatively new teacher and you are getting into the years now where it's like you're coming into your own. In your own words, what's the best part of being on a team at Oak Crest Elementary?
The people. I mean, the people that my coworkers turn to friends, they turn to family within a year. I mean, we're joking, we're laughing. I mean, it's a fun place to come to work and be and to be with everyone, to be with all the kids. It's really just a great positive environment.
What brought you to Beach Park? You're coming from Wisconsin out of school, you're local. Was there something about Beach Park, or was it you're just out there and you got a vibe during an interview process and you wanted to give it a run?
It was definitely the vibe I got process. I think I had a couple different interviews, and the Oakcrest one by far was the best. I felt so comfortable. I felt like I was a colleague already. They made me feel that comfortable immediately, and it was really just a really welcoming experience. And I could see myself teaching with the different individuals that I was seeing at school. I could see myself in the classrooms, in the hallways, and stuff like that. Comfortable feeling for me.
That's refreshing to hear. It sounds great.
It was
If you were
awesome.
talking to an educator that is considering joining our district, is there one thing that you would tell them about Beach Park community, or the level of support, something that you would say where you would convey this is the place to be?
Yeah, I think that at an all-time high. I feel that if I am struggling with something or I need something, there's always a resource I can go to. There's always someone who will offer ideas or offer their input. I've never felt like I'm alone in anything. And whenever I need anything, there's someone that I can go to, whether it's a colleague, whether it's admin, whether it's one of the TAs or a service provider, anything like that. There's always someone willing to help you and to kind of help you out with that.
Have you felt that on a larger level that Beach Park District 3 has supported you in achieving your goals and your aspirations of what you're doing now and where you're heading?
Absolutely. Opportunities that the district provides for all teachers, right? Whether that goes from tuition reimbursement to the PD days that we have. I feel like that everything that the district has been doing recently is geared towards teachers developing themselves and growing just so that we can provide even better instruction and better community for the district and for the overall community.
There's a lot of conversation at the district level, particularly with Dr. Wilcox as our superintendent, director of curriculum, director of student services. You know, Mr. Jorge Seda. He gave you the shirt off of his back to make sure that
Absolutely.
you were getting what you needed, particularly in the environment of
100%.
special education. It's just we do want the best. Like this district has done such a great job of just trying to listen to our staff and listen to the people that work here, and me as a staff member included, on how do we build something great and how do we make sure that our teachers and our support staff and all of our employees from the district office all the way down to the first year teacher are getting the support that they need. So I appreciate you just sharing your perspective because it's valuable. And I want people that are listening to know that there's no request that can't be asked. Because I think that if you're in a place where you're thinking about asking for something, whether it be continued education, tuition reimbursement, I mean, let's just go with personal days, even through the contractual obligations of days that are blacked out you can't take. Like this leadership in the district is so willing to hear you out and consider
Absolutely.
any idea. It doesn't matter how lofty it is. So I'm hoping that people are experiencing that. It sounds like you're getting that experience, which is really fantastic. And
Absolutely.
this podcast is kind of built around getting the our voices heard, getting the news out there, and getting people to relate to other people to say, "Oh, that's great," or spark ideas. Is there a colleague or that you've been working with recently, or is there a teammate at the building level that you work with that's inspired you and you maybe want to give a shout out to?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, like I said before, I have two TAs. So I do want to shout the TAs out. I mean, not just mine, but all the TAs here at Oak Crest and all the service providers. My TAs, Jasmine Morales, Kiana Cantu. I mean, the work that the TAs do at the school, I feel sometimes goes unseen. Not everyone, I don't think, fully understands what their role is and how crucial and influential they are. I think the school would not be the same without all of our TAs and everything that they do behind closed doors or not, that's not seen. I really do think that the school runs on them. They're so important, so influential. I really do want to shout out, yeah, all the TAs at Oak Crest, all the service providers. They do an amazing job, kind of collaborate with one another, everything like that.
Thank you for that. Thank you for saying that, putting it out there. I totally agree with you. The financial compensation for TAs is always a conversation that's happening, right? But the perception is also kind of goes along with that, and they do so much. It just doesn't work without them, particularly in special education, EL one-to-ones that we have throughout the district. It's so important. And I think I'll take this opportunity to let TAs know that the district provides 100% tuition reimbursement for paraprofessionals who have worked in the district for 2 years. And I know that there are paraprofessionals, this is the job. I like it. I'm not looking to further my career. I'm not looking to invest in my education, but there's a number of paraprofessionals in our district, TAs, that have taken advantage of tuition reimbursement built into their contract. It's kind of an unseen benefit, and I think this is a great way to at least get it out there. If any of them are listening, they can call me, reach out to me, review their contract, talk to their union rep. And if you're interested in a pathway to further your education, particularly as a certified teacher, whether it be special education, general education, reach out to me or your union reps. I'm more than happy to facilitate as much as I can as a director of human resource to get you where you want to be. In this district, has done a great job of that for so many paraprofessionals. We currently have 6 paraprofessionals in alternate programs going to get their teaching certification. And it's great. And it's through what's considered an apprentice program. They get to do the work while they're working. And it's something that's different than thinking about, so I work all day, I take care of my family, I have my children, I have my spouse, I have a second job. Where am I going to squeeze school in to further my career? There are pathways that can meet you where you're at and get you where you need to be. So not to get on a soapbox about it, but you open a door and I want to walk through that to make sure that they know that we want the best for them. We want to help them grow and that support is out there. And more importantly, just the gratitude for the work they do. So thank you.
Absolutely.
What's the most important piece of advice you'd give a new teacher starting in education today?
Trust your gut. I don't think that there's no right or wrong way necessarily to do everything. If you're going to better your lesson, or if you think it's going to be what's best for the kids at the time, then I think you should just do it, and trust your gut. If you feel that it's the right decision, you need to do it. If you feel it's the wrong decision, then you need to stay away from it. And I feel that as an educator, there's a lot thrown at you, especially at the very beginning, overwhelming. So it's kind of just important to remember who you are, what your values are, and again, just to kind of trust your gut, to make sure that you're doing what you need to do for the kids.
How about a teacher, since you're so close to the ground on this one, that is struggling in their first or second year? Any advice to them when they're having a difficult day or they're questioning their decision to be in the classroom?
Absolutely. Yeah. The biggest advice I got was ask for help. And I know we talked about it recently, but ask for help. There's no one that's going to give you that's going to be rude to you intentionally if you ask for help. If you ask for help, someone is always going to try for you to get you what you need. That's something I think I actually struggled with my first couple of years, not asking to get it. And I think that I was lucky that I had colleagues that saw that I was struggling and told me to go ask for help. Because I don't think without that, I don't know if I would have asked for help. And it was such a life-changing moment for me that when I started asking for help, because I got those resources, I got the supports I needed. And here I am years later feeling like I know a lot more than I did. And I don't know where I would be if I didn't ask for help a couple of years ago.
That is a fantastic answer. It's clearly it's a vulnerable thing for you to say from an administrative lens, from a teaching lens. As an administrator, your first couple of years are going to be very difficult. In fact, I always felt like it wasn't until my third year where I started to get some traction and feel like I think I know what I'm doing. And you're still making mistakes. You're still out there trying to get help. But there is a perception, and everyone feels it. You got the imposter syndrome where you're not good enough to do the job, which is only you thinking that. You are surrounded by people in this district right next door across the hallway that are all willing to help you. You don't have to even know the people. Spark a conversation, make connections, build relationships, and you can lean on anyone and any administrator in the district, because I work with them and I've been an administrator in the district. We want the best for you. And the thing is from a leadership standpoint, sometimes we don't know you're struggling. And that's, I think, goes back to what you're saying, Matt, is we don't always see when you're struggling. And if you're keeping that inside, it's like putting air in the balloon. The more air you put in the balloon, eventually it's going to pop. You got to find a way to get the air out of the balloon. And you can do that with your colleagues. We've all worked around education, right? And I can assure you, every single educator has felt the pressure, has been broken and in tears and questioning their ability. That's what the collegiality piece is. That's the collective support you're going to find with anyone. So be mindful of that. And I appreciate you saying that out loud, Matt. I was that same way. And I tried to do it myself. And it's very vulnerable, and it takes a lot of humility to reach across the aisle and say, I'm having trouble. No one's going to judge that. They're going to say, what do you need from me, and how can I make sure you're successful? So cool.
Exactly. Yep.
I'm going to do some quick fire stuff with you. Some fun facts.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's right ahead.
Let's do it.
If you weren't working in education as a teacher, what would be your dream job?
I would love to own a golf course or a driving range. I think the seasonal work, spending time outside in the sun, I think that'd be the dream. That'd be the life for me.
Man, what's your go-to energy boost to get you through a day? Do you got something?
Dr. Pepper. Have a Dr. Pepper every day for lunch. Got to have it for the afternoon. So I would say that.
All right. Binging something. So binge watch. Are you currently binge watching, reading, listening to anything?
I am. So Survivor season 50 is coming up at the end of February. So I just started binge watching the previous seasons to kind of learn all the contestants who are going to be on the next season. So started watching all those old ones.
All right. 50, like 50 seasons?
50. Yeah, they do. Yes. So
yeah.
I guess it's 25 years, I would assume then.
All right.
I've only started watching the last couple, but now I'm getting into it and rewatching the old ones. So,
brother, you got your work cut out.
I do. Yeah. It's a lot, but I'll be ready. I'll get there.
All right. What's a talent or hobby outside of work that might surprise people?
I like to cook. I really like to cook. I specifically like to grill, but I do like to cook and get involved in the kitchen and stuff.
All right, you got guests coming over to your house and you're cooking. What's the one thing that you're just going to kill it and they're going to be like, that's the best meal?
I think my best would be probably either steaks or burgers. That'd be probably one of the top two that I would say, or maybe a mean pulled chicken.
Okay.
Barbecue pulled chicken would be good too.
What are you grilling on? Is it like flat top, open grill?
Traeger.
Okay, Traeger.
Traeger grill. Yep.
Okay. You're running that on the Wi-Fi?
On the smoking it. Yep. Got the internet, got it all going, checking it from my phone, the whole deal. Yep.
All right. Well, the audience knows you're for real. If you're messing around with Traeger, you got the Wi-Fi hooked up. Very no question.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have coworkers now hitting you up. They're going to say, hey, Matt, why don't you bring some of that back to work?
Exactly. Why don't you bring over some lunch for us today?
Yep.
Well, the next institute day, I'm going to be supplying everything. So
I'm going to drive by there and there's going to be a Traeger outside. You had to bring it to work.
It'll be me out in the front. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yo, listen, if that's the case, you better call me.
We'll be there. I'll make sure you're there.
Best piece of advice you've ever received and who gave it to you?
Take a deep breath, breathe. I don't necessarily know if that's advice, but
that's
kind
advice.
Of tips. Yeah, kind of when things aren't going as you thought, if a lesson plan kind of goes off plan, take a deep breath, breathe before kind of making your next.
Best concert you've ever been to?
Best concert was the first concert I ever went to, a band called Rise Against, back when I was in middle school.
Where at?
It was at the UC Pavilion, I believe.
Well, here's what I've learned by doing the podcast now a few times. Whatever the answer is, I go find the band and I go listen to it. So it's just a selfish question for me. I just want to build my audio library and then get exposure to what other people listen to.
A little new music. Yeah. Always good to get new music. Always.
Yeah. I got a Matt Russell specific question. Best 2025 season playoff game you've ever attended?
Be the Chicago Bears beating the Green Bay Packers last Saturday night. It was the best. It was awesome.
As a Packer fan, which is why I asked you, because I wanted to tell you, congratulations. You earned it.
Thank you very much. That means a lot coming from you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I was thinking about you because I knew you were there, and I could just imagine what that must have felt like. And I wanted to be Matt Russell in that moment.
Pandemonium. Pure ecstasy in the stadium. It was surreal. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh, man, you are something. I got to know what encouraged you to be on the podcast today.
I've listened to the last couple, and I think it's just a really good opportunity for people to learn who I am. I feel like sometimes I can be a little more quiet, a little more reserved, kind of talk to the same people here and there, but that's not necessarily even on a school level, but on a whole district level. So kind of people can get to know me, get to know a little bit more about the program, maybe a little more about Oak Crest, and the community as well. Just kind of shine some light on why I think this is the best place ever.
Man, I'm so grateful for you. I mean, this entire opportunity has been wonderful for me. I know it's been wonderful for the listeners. I've been surprised by who's been listening. People are randomly now stopping by and I see them in the buildings and like, hey man, listen to the podcast. And it's been really enjoyable to get to know people that I don't know. So on that note, I just want to thank you so much for being vulnerable, having the courage enough to share your passion, the insights, entertain me with the quick questions. I'm so glad I gave you the opportunity to tell me to my face that your best NFL season game while you were in person at Soldier Field watching the Packers fall apart and the Chicago Bears walk away with their heads held high. It just fills my heart for you.
That's good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for everything that you do every single day for our students, our staff, our families, the ones that you serve, I get to serve. It's clear you're committed to the Oak Crest Elementary special ed program, your colleagues, you gave some shout outs, you're invested in what you do every day. And I think that is so inspiring to every single educator, and hearing about your experience that you are out there and people are watching you in your building, watching you excel. I hear about what you do and know that it doesn't go unnoticed, Matt, and it's appreciated, and you're impacting the lives of our students, which is so awesome. And for our audience, you can find Mr. Matt Russell over at Oak Crest Elementary in the Cabs classroom teaching special education. You heard what he had to offer. You've heard his experiences, and I'm confident he'd pick up the phone to say, hey, yeah, let's bounce that question off. I want to just do a call to action real quick. I mean, if you're a dedicated professional in education and you're looking to join a supportive and engaging district, part of our Beach Park family, I want to encourage you to visit our career page at bpd3.org. We would love to have you being part of what we're doing here in Beach Park and making a difference. If you're currently an employee in Beach Park District 3, I want to thank you so much for all that you do for our students, our staff, and our families, and our community. I can assure you that the work doesn't go unnoticed. From the district office, from the superintendent, to the people that you work with on your team, those across the hall, they appreciate you, they see you, and you are one of the people that they also look at to watch what they're doing and how they're making it through the day and the impact that they're having. So thank you to all of you, and thank you for all that you do. For anyone at the audience at large, not connected to Beach Park, which you are now because you listen to this podcast, I want to say thank you to the audience for tuning in to Beach Park District 3. Invite all of you to please like. There is a like button right below this. Hit it. And then subscribe to the channel. Our podcast is on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and I post out clips that are hooks that promote the guests for the upcoming Mondays, which we drop every single Monday, every single week, because of our courageous, awesome guests, just like Mr. Matt Russell. So thank you for that, Matt. Anything on the way out?
Yeah, if you're looking to come join a great community, a great place to be, like Gabe said, come apply. We're always looking for some great people to come work here, and yeah, that's all I got.
On that, I guess we'll say goodbye to the audience. So thank you, audience. Goodbye.